Shook, and welcome back to another edition of Keeping Real with Shaquille. We inquire to inspire. Guys, can you believe that we are on episode 10? This season is getting ready to be over. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting the show since day one. Guys, we are getting ready to wrap up our third season of this. We've been doing this for 3 years, and I cannot express how grateful I am to you guys for just your support, for being here, for watching us grow. Also, make sure that you guys go like Keeping Real with Shaquille on Facebook. Also, make sure that you go and follow us on Instagram. Make sure that you go to my YouTube page and subscribe at Shaquille E. Cook. And you can watch all episodes from Season 2 and Season 3 of Keeping Real with Shaquille on YouTube. So make sure that you go and click that subscribe button so that way we can get those subscribers up. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, guys. So make sure that you go and support.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Yes, sir. Also, guys, the College Football Highlight is on its way back. The College Football Highlight podcast will be starting up next month, guys. College football is on the way back, so make sure that you go and support the College Football Highlight podcast on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and also you can check it out on Anchor. And last but not least, dear God, thanks for my child play. It is coming up this September. Tickets are on sale right now. You can get your ticket. Come holler at me. Tickets are $10 pre-sale. You can get it for $15 at the door. So, guys, make sure that you holler at me, get your ticket. I'm also starring in the play. And Daniel Barksdale, he put the play together, man. He is tremendous. He's awesome. And this play is something serious, and you cannot afford to miss it. So, without further ado, man, I'm done talking. The moment I've been waiting for, I'm very excited, man. This guy, I've met him just a few months ago. And I tell you, he's one of the most humble individuals that I've ever met. And someone who noticed that we're doing the same thing and wanted to come along and support and help the vision and share wisdom and grow together. And honestly, you don't find people like that nowadays. You really don't. You don't find genuine people like that nowadays. So guys, without further ado, please give a warm welcome to our special guest, entrepreneur, talk show host, podcast host, media tycoon, and also fitness guru, the one and only TeflonJohn Jonathan Smith.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's quite the intro, man.
Man, you know, look, I can't have you on and not do it right, so you know.
I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how have you been?
Doing good, man. Just still grinding, trying to put out the content, man. Just trying to collab. So thank you for having me on. You know what I mean? It's a pleasure for you to recognize what I do as well as me recognize what you do.
Absolutely.
We actually work together instead of working against one another. You know what I mean?
Right. And so one thing off the bat that we have in common, we both have a brand that's named after ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, mine's Keeping Real Shaquille, yours is TeflonJohn. So just talk to me about how did you get started building your brand?
Well, building my brand, man, you know, I realized by talking to somebody that, you know, you are the brand already. And going up, you know, you see it tattooed on my arm is Black Ops. So I had a rap group, make beats. I'm about to get back into producing now. And one of my rappers, Big Jerm, special shout out to Jeremy Elliott, he actually started calling me TeflonJohn. He's like, man, you know, you seem like you go through a lot and nothing phases you.
Right.
You know, like you got Teflon as non-stick surface, and then you got bulletproof vest. So he was like, you know, making that a reference.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like a little comparison. So it just stuck, man. I just like the ring, and that's what we rolled with, TeflonJohn.
Absolutely, man. So now, obviously, you're in the media field. Like, you do a lot. So, you know, you have your show, your podcast, and also a show that you shoot and go live with on Facebook. So how did you get involved in the media field?
Well, the media, man, is always something I had a love for ever since a kid, man. Like from VCRs, I was always the one that somebody calls to come and hook it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always loved the fact that this one device can entertain people. This one device can bring people together. And, you know, when we got used to these cell phones and realizing how important they were, man, I really wanted to get involved in how do I get people's voices out.
Right.
So initially I started off, man, by just wanting to help people like pastors or people that's already influential figures get their brand out. And then one of my pastors, shout out to Nicole Bonds, actually encouraged me to step from behind the camera and do my thing, man. And here we are.
Wow, you know, and it's a small world, man, and I believe God really connects us because you said Nicole Bonds.
Yeah.
What's the name of the church again?
Life Church.
Life Church. You know what's crazy is I actually work with one of the ministers there at the church, and I actually know Jasmine, and I know Pastor Bonds, and through Jasmine I was able to connect with her. So I mean, gosh, I had to stop right there and just acknowledge that, like, it's a small world.
Yeah, real small, man.
And so now, what inspired you to start, like, your show in particular? Because your show, you motivate. I was watching your show last week, and you were talking about getting ugly, and just how we need to start appreciating the little small milestones to help us get to where we're trying to go. And it's very encouraging. So how did you get into using that media platform to encourage and inspire people?
Well, actually, man, I used to work at a job that I hated. Loved the people, but I hated. And so I came home one day, I was frustrated, and just out of outlet, I said, man, let me try this live thing. And I was going live to really get my frustrations out about the job. See, now you do it, and I don't like it, and you hit delete, you do it. Right. And so finally I did it, and I called it, It's Time to Go. Just saying, I believe sometimes God can make a situation worse for you to help push you out.
That's true.
And when I did it, man, I got to going on a different tangent. And a week later, a lady messaged me and said, hey, like, your video was inspiring. Thank you. It really helped me out. I found my son hanging from a tree. He had committed suicide.
Wow.
And so she lived in Florida. Man, I did the video in Appomattox. I put two and two together. It was like, hey, man, like, if I can inspire somebody just by my words or my experiences, you know what I'm saying, then that's what I want to do, is help use my voice to help bring people out. Because part of what I want to do, man, is help decrease the rate of suicide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because after hearing that, it kind of stuck with me. And I remember days when I was young and I didn't have anybody speaking motivational, speaking real stuff to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got like a lot of music and stuff that you can play, but you don't really have messages that'll hit you here. Right. That'll make you want to change. You know what I'm saying? So.
Wow, and that's how it started. And so how long has your show been up and running?
It's been, I would say, about maybe 2 years strong. Okay. At first, I just started off with my cousin. Shout out to K-Ron Thomas, man, just doing YouTube videos. And actually, he was the one that kind of taught me how to use my confidence, how to speak. And so because of him, I'm comfortable in front of the camera. First, I was shy, low energy, and that turned into, because it started off as just fitness. We was just doing fitness tutorials, fitness videos. And then within me teaching my classes, or just, I found out that my voice could help motivate somebody. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because you can get the horse to water, but making it drink is something different. And absolutely. A lot of people, you have to learn how to use your voice, your personality that they gravitate to, and not use it for manipulation, but use it for inspiration to inspire them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's something that I'm glad you said, using your voice for inspiration and not manipulation, because something that I've learned over the past couple of years is that influence is a powerful tool.
It is, man.
And it's a powerful tool, and it's a gift that should be used only to uplift and better people, and to not be misused to tear people down. And so it just mindful that our words do matter, and what we say matters, and we have to speak life and not death into situations in life. I know death and life come out the tongue. Come out the same mouth. And so, man, it's really awesome that you brought that up. And
you see, man, where not to cut you off, but like,
absolutely,
so many people misuse their platform, because I think it's a heavy responsibility when people listen to you. Like when I was personal training, man, just because my title, people would be influenced to listen to anything I say. Wow. I was like their counselor, you know what I'm saying? So it was times where I could have probably told people to go outside, but really I could have went outside and took bowl of grass and said, hey, drink this twice a day. You lose 30 pounds, and they would do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's something when you have that power, you have to just continue to seek God, to just stay humble. Right. Because you can find yourself on a tangent, just going after the dollar and not really caring about people. But if you care about people, the money will always be there.
That's true. That's true, man. I'm glad you brought that up. And it keeps things into perspective. Yep. You chase a dream, you chase what's doing right, and the money will follow. Yep. That's absolutely. And so you brought up health, wellness, working out, and so you're also a fitness guru. And so how did you get into this constant habit of remaining healthy, and just kind of talk about what you do as someone who promotes health and wellness your responsibility with it, and how important it is to take care of ourselves with all that's going on and what we all do in our lives.
Yeah, I think it's very important, man. How I got into fitness, being a personal trainer, was I was always an athlete.
Yeah.
Played Perrymont Elementary. I played at Dunbar Middle School.
Yeah.
Sandusky, EC class, and so when I graduated, I didn't go to college to play sports. So working out in fitness was the closest thing that kept me on that competitive edge. Mm-hmm. And what happened was, man, I had separated my shoulder. And I was just, being honest, I was just working out to get bigger, man, just to be in shape. It wasn't about being healthy. When I separated my shoulder, I had to go to physical therapy because I couldn't lift like 20 pounds because the AC joint was partially separated, right? And so when I went to physical therapy, I seen a different side of training, how we can help rehabilitate people that can't move, rehabilitate people that maybe can't walk or maybe not experiencing the best quality of life due to an injury, man. And it really piqued my interest in, like, man, why don't I use this as something to help people?
Right.
And you notice there's a correlation between people getting healthy and taking control of other aspects of their life.
Yeah.
Going after goals, being more spiritual, being more disciplined, because when you're going after, health goals, first thing you're going to do is sacrifice.
Right.
So you're sacrificing, not overeating, you're sacrificing certain things that may be good to the body but not good for you.
Right.
And I think that's a correlation between the actual spiritual man, because, when we serve God, sometimes we have to sacrifice what may be good to the flesh but not good for you.
Right.
And so I love that aspect of fitness, that if you train somebody, eventually, man, you'll see them reading their Bible. You see them focusing on personal development, because you're going without a lot of stuff that you shouldn't need.
Right.
But as far as me getting into it, man, right now I have a back injury. I was born with spinal stenosis. I didn't know what that was until I hurt my back doing squats. So now I'm kind of getting back into shape. I've always been training people, but I'm at the point now where I can get back into shape. Where I can work around the injury. I also sell Herbalife. They have some real good products, man. And so I just like to put myself in a position where somebody wants to know knowledge.
Right.
Because I believe in, the Bible says our people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Absolutely.
You see a lot of us African Americans, man, we're dying from high blood pressure, diabetes, stuff that we didn't learn about in school. And I believe that if we can educate one another, man, and really change our perspective, like you said, really change our view of food, we can really get in control of our life.
Man, that's true. And I'm glad you brought up that correlation between taking care of yourself and then you start to see that other areas in our lives begin to start being in order, and that we start taking control over those things. Yep. And the thing is, I did an episode not too long ago, I think last season, where I was pretty much talking about fasting. When we say no to one thing, we're saying yes to another. Mm-hmm. We're saying yes to eating healthy. We're saying no to diabetes. Mm-hmm. When we're saying yes to the spirit, we're saying no to the flesh. And every action has a reaction. Mm-hmm. And so something that you brought up was sacrificing. I want to ask you, how much have you sacrificed with time with family, even like time with friends and hanging out, to build your brand, to work, and then not even just that, but also finances. Because it takes finances to build a brand, to buy the equipment, so you have to sacrifice, maybe going out to eat. So just briefly talk about that, the importance of it from your perspective.
Yeah, I think it's very important, man, to know balance. Right. Because you can't be all things to all people. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and what I mean by that is, while we're here doing this, I'm not a husband, I'm not a father, I'm not a son, because if they call it, I can't, because I'm busy. Right. And so realizing that you got to have balance, because you can't just take a deep dive into building your brand that you lose the foundation somewhere else. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to incorporate my wife in anything I do. Incorporate my mother and kids. I don't care. She doesn't know about the camera. I'm asking, hey, now, what do you think about this? Or, and not just forcing her to kind of, enticing her to watch my videos, but just keeping her in the loop of what I'm doing. So that way she feels involved, and even the kids, man. So It's a challenge because normally during the week I have certain days where I don't do any content. I have a day where I have an administrative day for me where I may work on my website, work on some type of ideas. But then I have days where I'm just chilling with the family.
Yeah.
And then let's say, because my wife goes to bed early Friday night, that's my late night to go and do what I got to do.
Right.
And so I think you got to be very wise because while you're building something else, you could be tearing down something else.
That's true.
At the same time. As far as finances, yeah, you got to invest in yourself. Now do that, I would say be wise because if you look at it, like me and you just talked, if you looked at the money that you would spend, if you spent $5 at McDonald's every day, take that money out, transfer it from your bank app into a savings account every day, you would have almost, a little over $125, $135 that you could really buy something. So sometimes it's not that we don't have the money to invest, is we've spent it somewhere else.
Right. That's
and it's been times where, hey, I wanted to buy a new pair of Air Max, or I wanted to buy this, or go out to eat. You know what I'm saying? But I don't let the family sacrifice. I sacrifice my personal things and I buy a piece of gear.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I got the faith that if I continue down this path, that we'll be able to eat, do anything that we want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sowing seeds into myself. And as far as me sacrificing, sometimes I want to play my PlayStation to keep it going. Mortal Kombat 11 came out. I haven't played it a lot. It's times I want to watch TV, catch up on Netflix. It's times I want to lay down, But it's like, I go to the gym, it's like, man, let me do a video.
Right.
It's always, people make time for what's important to them. And that's what I can say is if you want to know where somebody's heart is, where their passion is, even if they were deaf and mute, watch where they spend their time. That's what's important to them. Yeah. So a lot of times when I was saying, I didn't have time to do a video, I didn't have time to do this, well, really I'm saying it's not that important to me. And so really, if I believe in what I'm doing, I will continue. And it's really not the videos, it's really not being seen. It's me committing to this course of action of shooting videos, pictures, editing, and getting that content out there to the people. Because it's really about me changing lives, man. Like if people are not being positively affected, then I'll just stop. Because you can lead people off a cliff or you can help them onto another level. And so sometimes you're the dude at the top of the cliff pushing them off. But you can also be that dude at the top of the cliff giving them the hand. And I just try to be the one that's going to give them a hand because I've never seen, until social media came out, man, like suicide is at all-time high. Depression's at all-time high. And I believe that outside of like going after the material things, we need people in this world to stand up and tell people like what it's really about. You know what I'm saying? Reading your Bible, falling in love with God, repenting. You know what I'm saying? Really knowing like your family, the true values of life, and getting our value system. There's a lot of things that we focus on have no value. You know what I'm saying? We tend to focus on things that will literally perish. $200 pairs of shoes that won't be worth anything next year. But you're not living in your own house. You know what I mean? So I think it's time to really like try to use our voices, man, as trumpets to really get that sound out there. Like, hey, there's a different way of living life.
And you said something I want to add to it. You mentioned, gosh, man, I lost my train of thought. you mentioned, like, giving life, and we can either be the person that's pushing off the cliff or helping people from falling off the cliff. And I thought about it in a sense of return on investment. The $200 shoes that you buy today, they're not going to be worth $200 later, next year, like you mentioned. And I think at times, too, that there are times that we, once again, kind of get our priorities mixed up, where we are willing to invest in sneakers, things that are going to depreciate, versus spending our time and our energy and finances and things that's going to gain value over time. And we tend to overlook that. One of the most valuable things is time. Spending time with family. And, my dad spent a lot of time with me, so he got a return on his investment when I became